Blockbusters. No, not that one. These ones. The ones that would be the banger of the summer, not the one that gave you a scratched DVD and then tried to tell you that you scratched it, but you really didn't, but they're making you pay a $3 cleaning fee anyway, and you're like, that's almost the same price as renting the movie. And they're like, I don't give a shit. And I think that's why they closed down. But the Blockbuster movie has been a mainstay in my life since I've had memories. Every year after school was out, I was ready to go to the crusty local AMC theater and check out what Hollywood was cooking. And trust me, they were cooking with gas. We had it really good in the mid-2000s, early 2010s. Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter, The Dark Knight, WALL-E. I mean, I was eating good, and so were the studios. But this great run of franchise movies worked against Hollywood to the point where big studios now exclusively release movies that are rehashing former success. I mean, look at this summer's slate of franchise movies. This is a problem not only affecting us as viewers, begging for original stories or just stories that I don't know the ending for. I'm looking at you, Jurassic Park number 8 billion. You know what's gonna happen in that movie? I know what's gonna happen in that movie. The dinosaurs are going to turn against the humans and fight their way against the humans like always. But this is also a problem for other movies and other directors who are trying to get their movies made but have to make way for these $300 million behemoths that have to get their money back, or producer Joe Schmanson gets fired from Studio Ballsack. I don't know. So what the hell happened to my once beloved Blockbuster? How did we get here? Is there maybe a way we can get back to the good old days? Movies used to just come out. Bam, new movie, no big deal. That was until Jaws, baby. You wanna know why the new Lilo and Stitch released like 2 days after school got out? Jaws. You wanna know why Barbenheimer happened? Jaws. You wanna know why I was scared to swim in pools at night? My stepdad. Steven Spielberg and Jaws opened the door for blockbusters, and then Star Wars and George Lucas came along and WWE style pile drive the doors into oblivion. Studios started opening up their purse and slinging the money, leading to an overall fucking run of franchise movies through the 80s and 90s, or the golden era. Indiana Jones, Alien, Aliens, Ghostbuster, Beverly Hills Cop, Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, Back to the Future 3, Top Gun, Die Hard, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Batman Returns, The Bat, Little Mermaid, Big Mermaid, Terminator 2, Jurassic Park, Toy Story, Lion King, Men in Black, and Titanic. These run of movies were so successful that they spawned a generation of imitators. I'm looking at you, Raiders of Atlantis. And they introduced the idea of franchises and movies becoming bigger than themselves by influencing pop culture and just becoming a mainstay in our lives.
Turn off the flash, you fucking moron!
As we moved into the 2000s, things changed from the good old days of the 80s and 90s. You see, computer graphics weren't dog shit anymore, and people wanted to see what computers could do with the movies. And that's why this era is so filled with CGI blockbusters like Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter, Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men, Transformer Man. We got it all. But the biggest difference with computer graphics and how they used to shoot movies before was how much less expensive everything was. I mean, look at the budget for the first Indiana Jones. $20 million for a movie gets you like a fucking taco now. So as good as this era of my childhood was, the cracks were starting to show in the mid-2010s, with remakes and sequels becoming more and more common and budgets getting crazier and crazier. And by the end of the 2010s, all mayhem was loose. This is the peak of the Marvel Universe and the Disney live-action movies, and really how we got to where we are today, with movies either being so big and mostly just cash grabs and somehow looking worse than they did 20 years earlier, or an indie movie with like a $2 million budget that's praying that it gets noticed, and that stinks. However, this disparity isn't all on blockbusters, because you also have the death of DVD sales. Back before streaming, one of the main ways smaller movies would survive were from these DVD sales, even in environments where massive blockbusters were the hit thing. The boost from the money in DVDs would help these mid-budget $40 million movies be made more often, because there would be a return on investment most of the time. But when those sales go away, mostly because of streaming, it makes what was already a tough environment to survive in almost impossible. The obvious answer to this is for Disney and Marvel and all the other big studios who continually push out this remake and sequel slop to simply stop doing it as much. But since it seems they're addicted to losing money and making things that really no one wants to see, maybe there's another solution. I remember watching the Oscars a couple years ago when the director of American Fiction, Cord Jefferson, had a speech I actually really liked. And in this speech, he talked about the blockbuster problem and how much trouble it caused him when he was trying to sell his movie even with the low budget it had. Studios are so risk averse in the present day to anything that's not an IP or known commodity compared to the golden age where studios didn't have that to rely on. That era was so good because studios actually gave directors and writers a chance to create original ideas that they normally wouldn't have. And that's basically Jefferson's idea. Instead of making one $300 million movie, why not make 10 $30 million movies or $301 million movies? That way they could give me a shot and I would rob them. But the point is, give more people a chance and they will deliver. Of course, there's some risk in this. Some of them are gonna bomb, but maybe you'll get your new franchise out of it. Indiana Jones, Alien, and Back to the Future all started out this way. And doing this doesn't mean you have to stop making blockbusters. I mean, there's still absolutely an appetite for them in the present day. I mean, look at Oppenheimer and Barbie, both huge movies that killed it, but the difference between those and a shitty Marvel or Disney remake is that they actually want to tell an original story and weren't just blatant cash grabs. So Bob Iger, I know you watch my videos. If you like my idea, I'll sell it to you for $300 million, which is a steal if you don't think about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what your favorite blockbusters are in the comment. If it's anyone I don't like, I will be deleting it, okay? Alright, bye.